Hey everyone! So today we're going to jump into something really interesting in the world of DeFi. It's a hybrid exchange called CLOAK, and it's trying to solve a problem that's been nagging the space pretty much since day one.
See, for the longest time, if you wanted to trade crypto on-chain, you kind of had to pick a side. Are you going to use a traditional order book, or are you going to use an AMM with its liquidity pools? They've always been these two separate universes. But the folks behind CLOAK are asking a really simple but powerful question. Why? Why do we have to choose?
And that one question really gets to the heart of a huge issue in DeFi today, this massive divide. It seems like almost every exchange forces you into one camp or the other, and what you end up with is a super fragmented world.
I mean, you know how it works, right? On one hand, you've got the order books. Super precise. You place specific buy and sell orders at the exact price you want. On the other hand, you have AMMs, where you're trading against these big pools of tokens. Both systems are fine on their own, but here's the kicker. They split all the money, all the liquidity, right down the middle.
So what happens when you split everything up like that? Well, you get exactly what you'd think: fragmentation and inefficiency. The liquidity gets spread way too thin, and you, as the trader, end up having to navigate the quirks of each protocol instead of just doing the one thing you came to do: get the best possible price for your trade.
Okay, so this is where CLO comes into the picture. They're basically saying, forget the divide. They've built a totally new model that's designed to bring these two separate worlds together into one single, powerful exchange.
So what is this CLOAK Hybrid DEX really? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a DEX that takes all the liquidity from the order book and all the liquidity from the AMM pools and fuses them together into one unified market. No more separate tabs, no more switching between systems, it's all just one market. And this is really their core philosophy. One market, one price. The entire goal is to get rid of that artificial separation we've been talking about. What that means for you is that you don't have to worry about whether you should trade against the book or the pool. The system just finds the best price, period.
So you're probably wondering, how does it actually do that? Well, let's pop the hood. The secret sauce here is what they call the best execution engine, and its only job is to automatically hunt down the absolute best price for your trade anywhere in the entire system.
And honestly, it's a beautifully simple three-step dance. Your trade comes in, instantly, the engine scans everything, every order on the book, all the cash in the AMM pools, and then, bam, it fills your order at the best price it found. It might come from the book, it might come from the pool, or it might even be a mix of both. The main thing is, you don't have to think about it. It just happens.
And it gets even smarter than that. See, CLOAK doesn't just use one kind of AMM pool, it combines two different types. You've got what's called constant product liquidity, which is like a wide, shallow river of liquidity that covers all possible prices. Then you add concentrated liquidity on top, which is like a super deep channel right around the current market price. CLOAK merges them into one single, incredibly deep price curve.
Okay, so what's the big payoff for you, the trader? It's something called a near-zero spread. You know that little gap between the highest buy price and the lowest sell price on a normal exchange? That's the spread, and it's basically a hidden cost. Because CLOAK has this continuous AMM liquidity, it can fill that gap, shrinking the spread down to almost nothing. Now, of course, a new market is totally useless if there's no money in it. To solve that chicken and egg problem, CLOAK did something really smart. They took 15% of the TLOS they raised from their token auction and plugged it right into the market to bootstrap the initial liquidity. And why is that such a big deal? Well, it means right out of the gate, their first trading pair had immediate tradability and real, meaningful depth. This is how you avoid those wild, gut-wrenching price swings and insane slippage that you see so often when a new token launches. It just works from day one. So this whole unified liquidity thing is a game changer, for sure. But believe it or not, that might not even be the most interesting thing about CLOAK. What really sets it apart is something that's built into its DNA, native privacy.
Think about it. Most of DeFi is radically transparent, right? Everyone can see everything. And for serious traders, that can be a huge disadvantage. CLOAK's answer isn't some mixer you use on the side or some clunky add-on. Nope, they built privacy directly into the core of the protocol itself.
They do this with something called the CLOAK Shielded Protocol. Essentially, it lets you interact with the entire exchange in a completely private or shielded mode. The cool part is, you don't have to. You can still use it totally transparently if you want. The choice is yours. And when we say privacy, we're not just talking about hiding a transaction. I mean, look at how deep this goes.
You can place private limit orders. You can execute private trades. You can even provide liquidity and claim your fees, all without revealing your strategy to the rest of the world. It's a huge deal.
All right, so let's zoom out for a second. When you put these two huge ideas together, this unified liquidity and the native privacy, you start to see what's really going on here. This isn't just another DEX. It feels like they're trying to blaze a whole new trail for what DeFi can even be. And of course, you can't pull this off without the right tech underneath. Building on Telos gives them that super fast transaction speed and really low costs. But here's what's so important. Everything happens on-chain. There's no sneaky, centralized server in the background matching trades. It's a pure, decentralized system, top to bottom.
You know, for so long, we've kind of just accepted this idea in DeFi, that you have to make trade-offs. You can have an order book, or you can have an AMM. You can have efficiency, or you can have privacy. CLOAK is basically looking at all those assumptions and saying, what if you don't have to choose? What if you can have it all?
So I guess that leaves us with one big final question. We've watched DeFi grow at an incredible pace, but these problems of fragmented liquidity and a total lack of privacy have been really tough nuts to crack. By tackling both of them at the same time, you have to wonder, is this what the next giant leap for DeFi looks like? Pretty exciting stuff to think about.